Alright, welcome to Network Fantasy Football, or it's technically week 15, but we're actually doing something a little different this week. So this week is, it's playoff time for the fantasy, and this is probably going to be our last one of these for this season. Because at this point, you're probably either already in the playoffs or already out of the playoffs. If you're in the playoffs, you kind of know what's going on. Let's see. We'll talk a little bit about different playoff structures in different leagues. The one that I kind of like, ESPN has the double. Oh, no! So ESPN has the double week playoffs, so each round is 2 weeks. I really like that a lot because it's not a lot of, players getting lucky. Except for... Oh my god. What? No! Except for the one year I did it where the first week I ran into Peyton Manning, who went unholy one year, and then the next week I ran into... the next week was Jamal Charles. Mm-hmm. So I had 4 weeks of just getting destroyed.
Oh! Ed McCaffrey?
No, Eric Decker.
Oh. So old school.
Yeah. Is that your preferred playoff style, or what do you kind of like?
I kind of like the style that we use in our leagues right now, where we have a 6-team playoff and a 12-team league, and the top 2 teams get byes. So basically they get free wins into the next round. I mean, unless you're one of the top 2 teams, you actually have to play the round in order to keep advancing.
Yeah. Well, here's my issue with I guess I'm not a huge fan of having that many... Jesus Christ, Tebow, come on. I'm not a huge fan of having that many guys get into the playoffs, like if it at 12 team and having 6 teams seems like a bit much.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that it is 50% of the league.
Oh my god. Well, that's going on the highlight reel.
What?
Ridiculous. I don't know why I threw to that guy. They had the guy cutting across the field. It does it every time, except for normally that guy wasn't even on that side.
After the day, we won't have to worry about it for another 6, 7 months, 8 months.
Probably should have tried to intercept that instead. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like half of the team getting into the playoffs just seems a bit much, but but I mean, it works. What's funny is I had the bye, and then I scored more points than anybody in the league, and I'm like, well, great, that's wasted. And then this next week I'll probably lose, even though I was the number 1 seed. Oh my god! Oh my god! You don't get Steve Smith because you guys spurned him. Carolina spurned him.
Steve Smith Senior.
Senior. No, because they said, you know what, we're good. We don't want you anymore. Yeah. So if you're in the playoffs, you're probably. Oh my god. You're probably already set. I pretty much just used
Oh
that'll work. I pretty much go by pretty much the what's the word I'm looking for? The average of the season, unless somebody's really hot right now.
So you play the matchup, basically.
Well, not really the matchup. I don't really like... This week was kind of interesting. I had one guy, I think, going up against Atlanta, and I was like, ooh, do I want that? Or the other one was going up against Denver. Go T-Bone!
Oh!
Maybe I just need to do a couple, 9 flea flickers here.
Yeah, the playoffs are definitely the point in the season when you need to bench people that you do not think are going to produce, no matter who they are.
Yeah. Well, DeMarco Murray's riding the pine. Oh! I thought you were taking the bait on T-Bone. I don't really know whether this play... Jesus. Oh my god!
No!
I'll take it. I was gonna say I don't really know where that play is going. When I moved that guy over, I was like, okay, I don't really know what this is now.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we got in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Next year, I think we're probably gonna have a more structured structured video cast.
Yes, and then also I'm for sure going to do some, like before week 1 of the preseason, or after week 1 of the preseason, I'm going to do I'm going to do a couple live drafts, kind of show kind of my thought process as I'm drafting. So it's what guys I'm picking up, what guys I like, what guys I don't like. Oh, how about guy don't dive in front of the other guy? Actually, that is that play that happened to Denver that year. Like, 2 years ago. Remember? Like, the one dude jumped up for the ball, and then he blocked the only other guy that could have tackled the dude, and then they lost in the playoffs. Oh, I went the other way. That was ridiculous. You just scored 30 seconds.
Alright, so let's go into the second topic we're going to have for tonight. And that's, now that we have 3 games to go, including this week, that's a good chunk of the season. So, oh my god.
Really?
Oh my god.
Did I get it?
Yep.
Nice. Go, 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 go. Oh, he's out of turbo. He's out of turbo.
Oh my god. That was crazy.
That was awesome.
Alright, so most of the season's done.
Yes.
Let's go through the top 10 at the 3 biggest positions: wide receiver, quarterback, running back. And we'll go through the top 10 at those positions, and then I want you to tell me who you think will be the number 1 pick next year from those 10.
Okay.
And let's start with quarterbacks.
Oh my fucking god. Seriously.
What the hell? I don't even know who that is.
God.
So going from 1 to 10, we'll start with the number 1 quarterback and go all the way to the 10th. We have Tom Brady,
Yeah.
Carson Palmer, Cam Newton,
Cameron.
Aaron Rodgers, Blake Bortles. I know, Blake Bortles, right?
Blake Bortles.
Russell Wilson, Eli Manning, Drew Brees, Andy Dalton, and Phillip Rivers are your top 10 quarterbacks.
Okay. So we're pretty much going with these without... I mean, obviously we can't know about any trades that might happen, because, like, honestly, like, if someone's, like, makes a big trade for, like, say a Des Bryant goes somewhere new.
Or if Phillip Rivers gets traded for some reason.
Yeah. I'd have to go with Brady. I mean, I took Brady in a lot of leagues super late just because of the whole thing. I was able to get him late. It changed in drafts after everyone knew he wasn't going to be suspended, and then it became a lot different situation. But I'd still go Brady. I picked up Carson Palmer really, really late. And, yeah. Whoa. He's not going to go that late this next year, but...
Yep, so you think Brady's going to be the number 1 quarterback?
Yeah.
At the end of the season next year?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the next season or drafting?
You know what, let's just go with drafting.
Okay, I think for sure he would be my number 1 to get drafted.
Okay.
There's a lot of those guys that that are in the top 10 that they'll probably go really, really late that you could pick up, like a Blake Bortles. I'm not a huge fan of getting getting a quarterback high, like in the first round. Just because you can get guys that are serviceable way later. Oh, shit. I was like, I need a big play. And then I was like, oh, there's 2 guys on the guy I want to throw to.
Alright, so I think the number 1 pick next year is actually going to be Cam Newton. I think he's been on a damn hot streak so far this year, and I think it'll continue next year. And I think they're only going to continue to get better. I mean, they had Kelvin Benjamin, who's been out the whole season, and they're going to be getting him back next year.
Yeah.
So who do you think will be the,
Go down! Go! Come.
So out of those 10, who do you think is going to perform the worst next year? Not including injuries, obviously, we can't predict those.
Alright, well, who was some of the lower ones?
So we had...
Well, I guess... I don't know.
Let's start at the 10th one. We got Rivers, Dalton, Drew Brees, Eli Manning, Russell Wilson, Blake Bortles, and then the top 4 I think are pretty much locks for next year's top 10 easily, and Rodgers, Newton, Palmer, and Brady. It's
like if I don't cover the guy, then no one covers anybody. It's like I have to do all the defense, and then they don't rush anybody. I don't know. I guess Russell Wilson. I mean, look. I mean, they got one of the prolific like tight ends who, in previous years, was number 2. Oh my God! Hey.
Oh,
What? You know, like they got Jimmy Graham, who was one of like the best catching, receiving tight ends, and they pretty much did absolutely nothing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, watch, you're gonna hike it and not pay attention, and then still complete the touchdown.
All right, let's go on to running backs.
Right.
Same thing.
AP number 1.
You still think he's number 1?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so we got Adrian Peterson, Devonta Freeman, who came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but what's happened? Where is he now? Like,
He was with the Falcons. He's actually still the number 2. I don't know what happened last week. It was just an aberration, but he like totally beat out Tevin Coleman, who had that locked up going into the regular season.
yeah.
Doug Martin, Lamar Miller, Todd Gurley, Chris Ivory, Mark Ingram, D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, and then Sean McCoy. Mark Ingram did just go on IR, and I don't remember, I can't remember if it was an ACL or an MCL injury.
So he's probably not going to be back. He'll be a good one maybe to...
Yeah, it's not going to be a Jordy Nelson situation where Jordy was going to be getting back probably around when the season starts.
Well,
Ingram will be getting back when the season's mostly over.
He might be a good option to... I don't know what I'm supposed to do here when your whole defense is on fire. Oh, I tried to, like, still throw it. Todd Gurley's probably going to be one of the top ones. This year, they had kind of that issue where there was pretty much 4 guys or 5 guys that were your top. Oh God, I don't know how I got that off. Apparently, it's not going to let me stiff arm while your guys are on fire.
So you got Adrian Peterson still at the number 1 spot?
Yeah.
I mean, as hot a year as Freeman's had.
Oh my fucking God. This is ridiculous.
As hot a year as Freeman had in as big a year as he's had this year, Peterson is still ahead of him, just barely.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, Peterson's not necessarily had a slouch of a year either, but.
No.
But Freeman's had some crazy weeks.
Oh, I had a guy that was gonna get it. That's bullshit. Yeah, Todd Gurley's going to be one of those guys that's going to be in the top. Because I imagine next year will probably be like this year where there was a lot of... Oh, bullshit.
That's a wicked hit.
I knew you were going over there, so I just waited and then I dove at him. It'll be like this year there was those 5 or 6 or 5 running backs that were pretty much like they had to go in the top 5 spots.
Oh!
Yes. And this would be a really close game if my guys didn't fumble the ball. And when I'm driving for touchdowns, it's like a fumble. So it's definitely Gurley. I was gonna see if I can break out of it.
You said the freaking jackknife.
Coleman, or not? Yeah, is that the one?
Devonta Freeman?
Oh, Freeman, yes. Freeman will be up there. I feel like Ingram would actually be a good guy to like pick up and put on the if you have an IR slot in your league, put in the IR and then pick up somebody else and then wait for him to come back, kind of like what I did with Arian Foster this year. Oh my God!
Oh, sick.
I barely got rid of the ball on both times.
Okay, so I agree. I think AP would be the number 1 pick. Although I don't see anybody taking Freeman or even Gurley or any of those guys over him. I mean, I think they're good, but I just don't think people will do it. I think people would rather go with a comfortable Peterson than risk it. Like on this year, last year, Murray was a high pick.
Yeah. Well, it also a lot of it also depends on where you're drafting at.
Yeah.
Because I know next year I'm going to be between 9 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of changes a lot. Like this last year, was at number 6, so I knew I was going to be able to possibly get one of the good running backs. Oh my God, camera on. My girlfriend on her team, she was drafting 12 as the returning champion. So what I advised her to do was she went Odell Beckham and Calvin Johnson, and so she's in the second round of the playoffs now, so that kind of worked out for her.
Oh! I tried to triple play.
I was going to go run at you, and then I was like, no, because that'll be the second you throw it.
So which of those 10, besides Ingram, do you think's not going to be in the top 10 next year?
You don't have to name them off again.
Peterson, Freeman, Martin, Miller, Gurley, Ivory, Ingram, Williams, Stewart, and McCoy.
Probably Martin. Oh, shit. Doug Martin.
You think that the pocket hamster's not going to be
Well, because Sims has been kind of taking away some of his stuff, and I don't know how long you can kind of do that.
Yeah. Oh! Yeah, I mean, I could see at any point, Jeez, there's so many question marks going into the running backs next year.
Well, that was kind of, the same thing with this year, where there was a lot of guys where I'm like, well, I'm not touching him.
I mean, and Forte's number 12, but obviously he was injured for like 3 or 4 weeks, so he could easily be in the top 10.
Marshawn Lynch is another guy where it's like, well, you never know how healthy he's going to be.
Alrighty, so let's head to wide receiver.
Well, that was a good 3 yards.
So let's go through these really quickly. We got Beckham, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Marshall, Allen Robinson from Jacksonville, AJ Green, Doug Baldwin, Larry Fitzgerald, and Jarvis Landry.
Who's the Baldwin?
Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin. He's one of those guys where it's pretty much he's in the same spot every year. And he's probably going to produce some, but it's just kind of that thing where it's like people don't want to take him.
Yeah.
Because of, Seattle's offense is mostly running.
His points are so high so far. I think he's had 5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Why is he trying to get me to kick a field
So
goal?
he had 6 on like the first 11 games of the season, and now he's up to 11. So, I mean...
Holy shit.
So who of those do you think will be the number 1 pick next year?
Odell Beckham.
You think Beckham will still be the number 1 pick next year? So where do you think Calvin Johnson falls into all that? Because he's kind of had a down year, and that's mostly because of the Lions just having a down year for offense.
Well, they got Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah. Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter. I've always been a big fan of the big... What the... I don't know what happened, but I'll take it. He, faked the pitch. What am I... Oh, I'm down. Why is it trying to get me to kick a field goal? That's not going to do me any good. I love the big guy wide receivers like a Dez Bryant. Oh, my God. Fucking serious. Oh, and then he won't throw it. I hit up. I was holding up there to try to get it to throw to the guy deep. And then so that's why he threw to that guy, because it makes perfect sense.
Dad, after you done with those reviews, would you try to untie this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I could see Beckham being the number 1 wide receiver, and I could also easily see Antonio Brown. I mean, Antonio Brown's had a crazy year too.
Yes, I've actually I got him 2-3 years ago when he actually blew up and got really hot, and since then I've never been able to get him again. But
yeah,
I kind of knew he's a guy that's going to get 14 catches a game, possibly on his good game. So, definitely from there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, does that wrap up our end of year?
Yeah, our year football.
We'll have the forum. I don't know if we're sticking with that same forum again next year. I might have a website up by then. So we'll kind of see as it goes on. But we got a while to kind of figure out what's going down. So anyway, that's Not Network Fantasy Football for 2015. If you come upon this and like it, make sure to subscribe, and then we'll have more for you in 2016.
And check out our other videos.
Yep, have a good one.